Did you know that some of the most haunted places in the world have chilling backstories rooted in real tragedies? Imagine checking into a hotel only to wake up in the middle of the night to hear whispers from an empty room or see a shadow move across the hallway when no one else is there. It sounds like a horror movie, but it's a true story. Tonight we're diving into one of the most famous real-life haunted locations, the Stanley Hotel. It inspired The Shining, but the real horror is far worse than fiction. Guests have fled in terror. Paranormal experts have captured eerie voices, and some visitors have even claimed to never feel the same again after spending a night within its walls. The Stanley Hotel, located in Estes Park, Colorado, was built in 1909 by inventor Freeland Oscar Stanley. At first glance, it looks like an elegant getaway, a grand, sprawling estate tucked away in the mountains. But beneath its beauty lies something sinister. Over the decades, countless guests and staff members have reported ghostly encounters, so terrifying they refuse to speak of them ever again. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt the hotel is Elizabeth Wilson, a former housekeeper who nearly died in a gas explosion in room 217. Many guests who have stayed in that very room report waking up to find their luggage unpacked, their shoes neatly lined up, or even an invisible force tucking them into bed. Some even claim they felt an unseen presence lying beside them in the darkness. And that's just the beginning. If you think you're safe anywhere else in the hotel, think again. The fourth floor is notorious for ghostly activity. Guests staying here often report hearing the laughter of unseen children echoing through the halls and soft little footsteps pattering outside their doors. In room 428, an entity known as the Cowboy has been seen standing at the foot of the bed, watching guests as they sleep. Some describe waking up unable to move, their breath shallow as if something, or someone, is pressing down on their chest. And then there's the concert hall, perhaps the most haunted spot in the entire hotel. This was once the site of grand performances, but now the only music played here comes from unseen hands. A ghost named Paul, a former hotel worker, is said to still enforce the rules, whispering, "Get out," if visitors stay past curfew. And if you're truly unlucky, you might even hear the distant hum of a piano playing when no one else is there. The Stanley Hotel has attracted countless ghost hunters, investigators, and thrill seekers, and they all come away with terrifying stories. The Ghost Adventures team captured eerie voices and shadow figures during their stay, while YouTubers and tourists have recorded objects moving on their own and doors slamming shut with no one nearby. One of the most disturbing stories comes from a couple who stayed in room 401. They reported hearing loud scratching sounds coming from inside the closet. When they opened it, nothing was there. But as they turned away, they heard a low, guttural laugh right behind them. Hotel staff have their own horror stories as well. One night, a security guard patrolling the lower levels saw a dark shadow dart across the hallway. Thinking it was a trespasser, he followed, only to find himself alone in a dead-end corridor. He turned around, only to feel a cold breath on his neck. He quit the very next day. So, what causes this intense fear? Science has shown that certain environments, especially old buildings with a history of tragedy, tend to generate high levels of electromagnetic activity. Some researchers believe these fields can trigger hallucinations, feelings of being watched, or even physical sensations. But can science truly explain it all? Or is there something far more terrifying lurking within the Stanley Hotel's walls? Would you dare to spend a night in this haunted hotel? Tell us in the comments, what would you do if you heard whispers in the dark? And if you enjoyed this terrifying story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more horror stories.